What's up, everybody? This is the Quarter Guy, and I have been back from Atlanta for a few weeks now, having experienced the mythical sauce. And I must apologize for not getting out of my 25 cents worth this last week. I'm sorry. I've been just busy with a few things, and that combined with a little bit of laziness, that's kind of what the explanation is. My apologies. So, I was thinking at one point of talking about the Pokemon Direct and how hype culture has gotten very toxic, but there's someone who's already made a pretty good video about that. I mean, people getting mad just because they didn't give it, just because it wasn't giving us exactly what they wanted, is kind of silly. But instead of talking about that and about the Pokemon Direct, something else came up. Something that nobody expected nor wanted. Completely out of nowhere, Bubsy's coming back. Yeah, a few days ago, I and plenty of other gamers, no doubt, were shocked, confused, and some were even horrified to see the trailer for a brand new Bubsy game. The game is called Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back and is currently slated for release on PlayStation 4 and Steam. It's being developed by Black Forest Games. If you don't know who they are, have you ever heard of a game called The Great Gianna Sisters? Well, for those who don't know, which I'm guessing is a good number of you, it was a blatant Super Mario Bros. Clone. Yeah, it was like the serial numbers were barely even filed off. But a couple decades later, Black Forest Games developed a sequel that actually made the franchise into something that could stand on its own. It was called the game was called Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams, and it was actually pretty good. And they're going to be the ones developing the new Bubsy game. So the impressions I got from the trailer are: Bubsy's voice is annoying, his model looks like trash, the gameplay actually looks somewhat decent. At least Bubsy seems to control better now. And he doesn't go too fast, and his jumping actually looks manageable. We only seen a little bit of the environments. In fact, I only think we've seen one. So on the one hand, the game could be good. On the other hand, it could be a total disaster. What could possibly go wrong? Sorry about that. But anyway, E3 is this week, and, well, I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. So, for my question of the week, could the new Bubsy game be any good? As always, leave your answers in the comments. Favorite comments will be featured in the next episode. Here are last episode's winners. And with that, time for the fourth little mailbag. As always, send me your questions via YouTube messages. I'll answer my favorites in the next episode. First question this week comes from The Dark Seraph, who asks, are you excited for the Castlevania cartoon series coming to Netflix in July? Hell yeah, I'm excited. I mean, the animation looks great. It's a series based on a franchise that's near and dear to my heart. And it's also based on one of my most nostalgic games of all time. So, yeah, I can't wait. Now, I just hope it's really good. Next question comes from Nintega94, who asks, what characters do you want most in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite that haven't been announced yet? Well, to be fair, some announcements regarding Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, including some of those leaks, are kind of killing my hype. Especially considering the fact that Sigma, one of the main villains of the game, is DLC. Why are you doing that, Capcom? That is completely stupid. But a few characters on the Marvel side that I'd like to see include Axel, Rashid, and a character from Red Earth, preferably Leo or Tessa. On the Marvel side, I'd like to see Star-Lord, Black Panther, and now this is probably a joke, but that would be pretty interesting if it were, but Stan Lee. I mean, Stan Lee is the godfather of Marvel, basically. It would kind of be fun to see how they could make him work, even if he would be just a joke character. Anyways, next question comes from Ellen the Ultimate Gamer, who asks, how was it acting like a twisted version of yourself during the Persona 5 Shadow Challenge? Ooh boy. It was actually kind of fun. I might try this sort of voice acting thing again, kind of like I did with my Yoshikage Kira monologue. But if and when it happens, let's just say, you'll never see it coming.